Have you ever sat down and thought, why does my brain feel so tired even though I haven't done anything? You know that weird emptiness that we sometimes feel after scrolling through the same headlines, the same videos, and all that viral nonsense? Well, here's the thing. Distraction is basically the superpower of our time. It seems like a lot of silly stuff gets applauded and shared. Every trending video, every viral dance, every shocking post, it's adding to what I call mental junk. Some people call it thought pollution or mental trash, whatever you want to call it. It piles up in our mind, it steals our focus, and it slowly shapes how we think. So the real question is, are we going to let this mental junk run our lives? Or are we going to hit pause, take a break, and rethink things a little? Because if we don't, the next generation won't just inherit our world, they'll inherit our cluttered brains too. And here's the good news, it's never too late to start clearing out some of that stuff and making room for clarity, depth, and a little peace of mind. Okay, let's get real, because you might be thinking, all this mental trash doesn't sound great, but how does it actually impact my life? Well, it touches everything. All this mental trash isn't just out there on your phone or on your laptop. It creeps in quietly and it shapes how we talk, how we feel, how we think, and how we live in our homes. If we think about it, when everyone is glued to their screens in the living room, it gets quiet. And not the good kind. Dinner can sometimes feel rushed because everyone is itching to get back to their devices. Our sleep can suffer, it makes mornings chaotic, and patience, forget about it. I was talking to a woman recently who's the mother of a couple of teenage boys, and she jokingly told me that her house didn't feel like a refuge anymore. It felt like a charging station for devices. And I laughed a little bit, partly because it's painfully true, and partly because I think a lot of us have been there. A home should be more than a place to just plug in devices. It should be a place where our minds and our hearts recharge, a place where love can grow. But if all this mental junk keeps creeping in, it can turn your home into this echo chamber of distraction. And that matters because homes are where culture starts. Whatever grows in our walls eventually gets spilled out into the world. So if we want a calmer, wiser, and more thoughtful world, we need to make our homes calmer, wiser, and more thoughtful. Next, we have the quiet decline of intelligence. Let me share a story. I met a 78-year-old tutor who's been teaching for more than 50 years. He said, kids just can't pay attention like they used to. Their eyes dart to the window, to their phones, to the clock. 50 years ago, a kid could sit at the desk, wrestle with a problem until they solved it. And today, they quit before they even start. This is not nostalgia. It's real. And here's something that might surprise you. Over the last few decades, studies have shown that the average IQ scores in certain countries have dropped by 7 points. 7 points. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is. That's not a tiny shift. That's the difference between being able to grasp and understand complex abstract problems and not being able to. That's like a whole generation losing sharpness that we used to take for granted. Now this is not because people are suddenly less capable. It's because our brains are slowly being trained to skim, to scroll, to skip. This is not an imagination. I've been talking to some friends recently about this, and a lot of them said the same thing. They said that their attention span isn't like what it was 15 or 20 years ago, that they have to work harder to focus on things. So all this mental trash is filling us up without nourishing us. Next, we have the illusion of authenticity. Now here's where things get a little tricky. You might be thinking, isn't authenticity a good thing? Isn't being yourself better than pretending? Absolutely. Real authenticity is beautiful, it's refreshing, and it's liberating. But I think we've started celebrating a counterfeit version of it. In today's culture, I think authenticity often means putting out our rawest, most unfiltered version of ourselves on display for attention. I think a lot of the time we're confusing shock value with honesty and transparency. We post every thought that crosses our mind, every messy moment, every drama, and then we're calling it real. real. But the irony of it is when authenticity becomes a performance, it's not real anymore. It's just another layer of mental trash, another distraction, another costume, whatever you want to call it. I think real authenticity isn't about broadcasting every little thought that you have in your head. I think a better explanation of authenticity is when we're aligning our words and our actions to what's good and true and beautiful. And we do it when no one is watching. I think most of us can agree that real authenticity doesn't need an audience. And let's be honest, sometimes the only audience you need is your cat, who is silently judging you anyway. Now let's talk about culture for a minute. What does our society celebrate today? Not wisdom, not patience, not perseverance. We celebrate the flashy, the quick, and the silly. Viral dances, silly memes, shocking posts, these are the stars. And don't get me wrong, silly videos can be so fun. But when the silly overshadows the serious, something shifts. It's almost like living in a town where the only food is cotton candy, and it seems really exciting at first, but you eat that for too long and you're gonna feel sick. And this is mental trash at work. It just fills your mind without feeding it. We end up consuming the easy, the entertaining, and we forget the hard, the nourishing, and the meaningful. And this is the thing that I think is one of the worst things of all, because once the stupidity becomes celebrated, it makes things that are wise and meaningful look boring. All the noise gets rewarded, and it makes real mental nourishment feel weird. And if we think about all those viral dances, they seem completely harmless, but they teach us something very important. It teaches us that life is about attention and clicks, and it's not about depth or character. And we see it all the time. When we look at a YouTube channel, we immediately look, how many followers do they have? How many viral videos do they have? We're not looking at what are they actually trying to share with the world? What's their message? How are they trying to impact society? So the next time we see one of these viral dance videos, we can ask ourselves, are we laughing with this, or is this actually shaping me? Also, what we replicate, we become. Now here's a truth we all need to hear. We become what we repeat. Humans are natural imitators. Kids copy adults, adults copy each other, even habits, attitudes, and reactions online. And none of us are immune to it. Spend enough time in shallow, sensational, and flashy content, and guess what? You'll become shallow, sensational, and flashy. It's kind of like planting seeds in your garden. And if all we're planting is weeds, then we can't be surprised when that's what we get. I recently read a story about a grandmother, and she said that when her kids were little in the 1960s, they would build these elaborate towns with blocks. But now that she has her grandchildren, they play with the blocks for 5 minutes and then they want to go back to their screens. She said they're not imagining as much anymore. And this is important because this is what is programming a generation. But here's the hope. If you manage a home, you are the maker of the everyday. One meal, one conversation, one habit at a time, we can shape a culture. So tonight, it might be a good idea to light a candle at dinner, turn off the TV, and just be. Take the time and listen to a child's story instead of rushing. Small choices like these go a long way to resisting this brain junk. And you can start small by choosing carefully what you consume. Maybe put more of an emphasis on depth instead of speed, or patience over entertainment. And we can do our best to model what matters, because what we replicate, we become. The world outside is always going to be noisy, and that's not going anywhere. But your inner world, your home, and your mind, that's yours to steward and look after. I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend a bit of your day with me. Many blessings to you and your families. Take care, and we'll catch you in the next one.